Hi everyone. Good morning. How are you doing today? Hope we're all doing great. It's been a beautiful week with you guys, and I'm happy to be here again. I hope you are here. I hope you are here. Get your friends, share the link of this live stream, and let them know that I'm live and we are ready for today. Today's topic is going to be fashion terms you should know. It's time to upgrade our fashion vocabulary. It's time for us to know those fashion terms and let's learn their meaning together on today's live stream. All right, so if you are just seeing me for the first time, welcome on board. My name is Mutsuraya. I am a fashion designer and I'm also a fashion tutor. I'm also a YouTuber. Of course, that's why you can see me here. So it's so nice to have us all here again today. Without much delay, get your friends, share the link, let them know that we are live, and let's get right into the video and into the tutorial today. Okay, so what are those fashion terms that we need to know? As fashion designers, it's important that we know all of these technical terms so that when we are talking or when we see them, we can understand what they mean. And this is the reason why I'm here today to just to share it with us. Okay. So the first word we are going to be looking at is the word ready to wear. All right, so all of these words which I'm going to be mentioning is going to be in the description. Ensure that you check the description for all of these words, and I'm also going to try to add it into the replay. So the first word we are looking at is the word ready to wear. So ready to wear is that word that means off the rack. Is that word where we use in fashion designing as a clothing brand. We often hear people say, I'm ready to wear brand, I'm ready to wear designer. So what does the word ready to wear means? The word ready to wear means that these products are just those things that we can just shop, maybe shop for it and order it online. Then you just pick it from there and then you just use it. It means that the producer doesn't really have a connection with you and they are made in like general standard sizes. It's not like they have to now get your measurements to make it. So that's ready to wear. They are like off the rack designs where you can just shop, where you can just buy, then wear them, and then off you go. Just like the word ready to wear, they are ready to be worn. So that's it. It does not, your measurements is not usually involved in this production, but they are just produced based on the general standard sizes. So that's ready to wear. And the next word I'm going to be using is the word bespoke. Also, we also saw a lot of designers say I'm a bespoke ready to wear. I'm a bespoke brand. Okay, so what does the word bespoke means? It means that these fashion products are actually custom made. Like they are made to a particular body size. They are made to your measurements and specifications are often considered in bespoke. I'm a bespoke fashion designer in Lagos. So I make dresses that are tailored to fit. All right, they're tailored to fit the body measurement of the female that I make them for. So whether you're a male brand or a female brand, bespoke is the word that we often use for people. For us who are in Nigeria, we call these dresses natives. So those are bespoke wears. The people come, they come to your store, they come to your offices, you take their measurements, you put the measurements into consideration while you make the garments for them, and by the time you make these garments, they usually fit nicely. All right, so that's bespoke. The difference between bespoke and ready to wear, I hope you can see it now. Ready to wear, your measurements are not considered, and for ready to wear are often much more affordable, cheaper than bespoke. Bespoke is usually a little expensive than, or more expensive, yes, more expensive than mass production or ready to wear. Okay, so I hope we understand that. So the next word is the word couture. Couture is a French word that means sewing. Okay, it means that it's a word that is being used, and when you look at these fashion brands that are couture brand, they are really high-end fashion brand. They are high-end fashion brand, and they are generally much more expensive. I'm going to put the word right here so that we can all see it. Couture. Okay, so they are high-end, um they are high-end fashion brand. So a couture brand, it will always be expensive because most of the time they are hand handcrafted. They are handcrafted, they are skilled professional that make these garments, that make these fashion items. It could be shoes, it could be bag. It doesn't necessarily mean only dresses. All right. So garments, shoes, accessories. So, but couture brands are usually expensive because they deal with high-end clients. They are handcrafted. The attention to details is like top notch. All right. And then they are not as accessible as the bespoke. They are much way more expensive than the bespoke, and they are also not as accessible as they are like, when they are produced, they are usually produced for maybe an exclusive mean produced for maybe whoever that is ordering for it, or usually produced in very limited quantity. Okay, so this is couture. Couture means, or a couture brand means high-end brand that are really expensive but delivers high quality products. High quality products that are tailored to the specification of whoever that is ordering them. Okay, so I hope you all can see me, I hope you all can hear me. Let me know wherever you're joining me from. I am speaking right here from Lagos, Nigeria. So, and today's topic is fashion terms and what they mean, fashion terms that you need to know and what they mean. And this is why we are here today. So let's just go on. If you have any question in the course of this live stream, do drop it in the comments and I'm going to attend to all of our questions. All right. So up next, the word is vintage. What do we mean when we use the word vintage? Whenever you hear the word vintage, just know that it means something from the past, a design from the past, a product from the past, a style from the past. So the word vintage is everything that is inspired from past designs. So a lot of time we see these prints are usually called vintage prints because these designs were commonly used back then, maybe for example in the 60s, in the 70s, and they come back and they become really trendy. So then we now tag them vintage. So that is what the word vintage means. It means something from the past that becomes trendy again in today's in the recent, like presently. It came from the past, it was good, it was trendy then it came back again, and it's still doing what it's supposed to do. So that's the word vintage. Then the next word which you are going to be learning is the word silhouette. Silhouette, silhouette. Anyway, guys, I actually stand to be corrected. I hope you know. So most of these words are actually French words. They are French words, and that's why the pronunciation sometimes might not be the same way it's spelled. So, but this is actually pronounced silhouette. I hope I'm right. Okay. So the word silhouette is actually refers to the shape of a garment. When you hear the word silhouette, just know it means shape. How does the garment appear on the body? How does the dress looks? What shape does the dress have? For example, when we look at A-line dresses, A-line skirts, they are called A-line because they take a form of A shape. Okay, so that's the silhouette of that garment. All right, so silhouette could indicate that the dress or whatever product this is, how does it make the body look? What shape does it give the body? Corsetry as from time gives the body that hourglass shape. It's a kind of silhouette. When you look at making dresses with basque, making dresses with style lines that are narrowed down, these are silhouettes. The mermaid kind of dresses, these are silhouettes. They give the body a kind of shape. They enhance the body, they make the body look in a sort of way that is more pleasing and all of that. So when you hear the next time you hear the word silhouette, just know that this means that what is the silhouette? I love the silhouette of this dress. For example, people say that it means that they sort of like the shape of the dress. They like the style line. They like how the dress makes them look maybe bigger on the hip side, makes them look narrower on the waistline and all of that. So that is what the word silhouette means. I hope we all get that. I hope we all get that. Guys, ensure that you like this video if you're enjoying what you're watching. If you're learning a thing or two, like this video. All right, and if you are not following this page, if you're not a subscriber, come on, do so. Subscribe to this channel. Okay, thank you. All right, so before we continue, I'm sure a lot of you know this dress. Like, you guys know this beautiful milkmaid dress that we created sometimes back on in the tutorial. So if you have not seen the tutorial of this beautiful milkmaid dress, go ahead, check it out. It's right here. Check it out. It's in the playlist of fashion DIY, so you can go ahead and check it out. So let's move forward. Let's move quickly. I want this live stream to be really brief, so I don't want to take much of our time today. Okay, so let's move quickly to the next word. The next word is the word streetwear. What does streetwear means? Streetwear, I'm just going to, what does streetwear means? When we say streetwear, what comes to mind? Streetwear, what comes to mind is simply casual. We think about casual, we think about edgy, we think about young, we think about all of everything that stands for young, edgy, casual wears. Okay, so and what are the example of casual? These t-shirts with prints, t-shirts with ribs and all of that. We look at the sneakers, we look at the baggy. These are example of streetwear, and they are everyday wear. They are everyday wear that you could just easily put on. They are really comfortable, they are baggy. Example, hoodie and all of that. So these are streetwear, and they are inspired by skaters, they are inspired by hip hop artists. This is where the fashion originated from. All right, so when you next time you hear the word streetwear, you hear anybody say I'm a streetwear brand, you know that these are the kind of products that they offer, and these are the niche that they have chosen. Okay, so I hope we are finding this video really helpful. The next word is athleisure. 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 Ah, the first time I heard this was like, what, athleisure? I just decided, okay, it would mean something that has to do with athletic, athleisure, something that has to do with athletic and is still really stylish. So I actually didn't fail it. I just broke the word down into two. Athleisure. Okay, so it's just as it sounds, athletic and stylish. So the word athleisure are garments that are really, they are functional, and at the same time they are aesthetic, which means they are usually used by most people that are athletes. These are, for example, wears that You can just put them on to like run errands, you can put them on to go somewhere, you can put them on to, but they are still really very stylish. For example, the common two-piece that we wear now that are done with prints, that are done with loose garment, these are actually example of athleisure. A leggings and all those things, those are athleisure. Sweatshirts, those are athleisure. Athleisures are actually garments that combine the athletic elements as well as leisure, as well as style, as well as beauty. Okay, they are actually designed for comfort. They are designed for comfort. Okay, and they are mostly functional, at the same time stylish. So I hope we understand what athleisure mean and the difference between streetwear and athleisure, because they seem to be closely related. Okay, they seem to be closely related, but the difference is that most of the time streetwear are informal, they are edgy. But athleisure can sometimes, they are also informal, but sometimes they can be upstyled to mean to go for a formal occasion. Okay, for example, you can have a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, put your blazer on it, and off you go for your meeting. So I hope that is really I hope that's really understood. Okay, so these are words that we should take with us. These are some of the words that we need to know as designers. So I hope I've been able to bring these words to you today. I hope I've been able to bring it to your knowledge. So before I go, I'm just going to quickly drop one more word. And what's that word? Drum rolls. The word is the word retro. When you hear the word retro, what does the word retro means? Whenever you hear the word retro, just know it's something from the past. Something from the past. For example, the bootcut jeans. These are retro designs. These are retro styles that they came back from the past. They can be dated as far back as 1960, 1950s, and they came back and they have come to stay. So generally, all of these styles, a milkmaid dread is also a retro design because they came back from these styles, and these designs were actually worn far back as 50 years or more back beyond, and they still came back now and they are still making wave, they are still doing their thing, they are still really stylish, they are still really beautiful and all of that. So when you hear a designer saying, I have a collection that comprises of a retro inspired designs, then you know that okay, these collections will mean that they are actually inspired by those dresses that are like from way back. Okay, so I hope I've been able to bring all of this to I hope I've been able to simplify it enough for us to understand. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for joining me again in today's live stream. Thank you for being a part of this live stream again today. But before I go, guys, I want to have your questions. If you have your question, if you have a comment, drop it in the comments and let me see it. Okay, let me see your questions and your comments before I go so that I can attend to them, and then we can learn and deal with it together. So I'm not seeing your questions. Let me see your questions. I'm still gonna wait a little bit. I'm still going to wait a little bit. So today we've been able to look at, there's words: ready to wear, bespoke, couture, vintage, silhouette, streetwear, athleisure, retro. So these are some of the words that we can actually use in our day-to-day communication, so that we can always sound technical and we can always sound like the designer that we are. There are still more fashion terms. So if you want a part two of this video, let me know, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to bring it out to us, and we are going to learn together. All right, so I'm gonna be waiting for your questions in the comments, but for now, I have to go. Whenever I see your questions, I will surely respond to them. Thank you for joining me in today's live stream again, and I'll see you in the next video.